Welcome to my views and news. Some new stories from Ethiopia and Eritrea for you. Firstly, North Wollo zone of the Amhara region, a key town in this zone where heavy clashes ongoing between Fano fighters and Ethiopian security forces. Fighting ongoing since last night. Fighting was in the outskirts of a main city, but reportedly now the clashes have spread to the town too. In several locations around this main town, clashes ongoing. Calls are being made by Fano supporters to block main roads leading to this main town and inside the main town. Secondly, viewers, in the previous video, I reported that Ethiopian Orthodox Church was holding emergency meeting, 2-day long emergency meeting. It kicked off yesterday. The meeting is being held to discuss what Tigray is going to do on Sunday. On Sunday, Tigray Orthodox Church is going to appoint new bishops. The meeting of the Holy Synod has ended. It has issued a very important statement. The Holy Synod's statement is very crucial. It is asking government to stop Sunday's election of bishops in Tigray. Details of this trip for you. And thirdly, viewers, in the last video, I reported about presence of Isaias Afwrki and PM Abiy in Cairo. Both are in Egypt attending a regional summit on Sudanese conflict. I said we had no confirmation about any meeting between them. Now confirmation. Pictures are being shared showing an engagement between the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, PM Abiy, and Eritrean President Isaias Afwrki. Was it a one-on-one meeting? Was it a bilateral meeting? Was it a formal meeting? Or was it a meeting on the sidelines of the ongoing summit in Cairo? Details for you. And there was a meeting between Isaias Afwrki and Egyptian President too. Firstly, viewers, clashes between Fano fighters and Ethiopian security forces in North Wollo. Almost in all zones of the Amhara region, these clashes are ongoing. Sometimes intensity of fighting increases in Gojam, sometimes in Gondar, sometimes in South Wollo, and sometimes in North Wollo. Just 2 days ago, Fano fighters carried out an attack on a camp of security forces in South Wollo. Before that, we did several videos about operation by security forces against Fano fighters in different parts of East Gojam, West Gojam. North Wollo has remained relatively stable, though we know that Yemere Wodajo, East Amhara Fano commander, is from North Wollo. His family, relatives live in Kobo. And when German Shtila was assassinated, Amhara Prosperity Party leader, a few weeks ago, Yemere Bodajo and Brother Shegao were accused, and then we saw an operation in Kobo against East Amhara Fano. Yemere Bodajo could not be arrested. He managed to flee. His family members were arrested. Since then, his whereabouts have been unknown. Where was he operating? Some East Amhara Fano fighters had joined Gondar Fano factions too, reportedly. Now, since this morning, especially last night, you can say, since last night, clashes have been ongoing between Fano fighters and Ethiopian security forces in the outskirts of Kobo city. In different small villages around Kobo, these clashes happen. Places like Aradam, Asamcha, Tamale, Teklehemanot, the Zetiza, and then other towns like Gobi, Robitu. Last night, clashes were in the outskirts of Kobo. There was no fighting in Kobo city. But Kobo residents heard sounds of gunfire, mortars were being fired, heavy weapons were being used. But residents were safe. But today, fighting spread to Kobo city. Reportedly, Fano fighters have entered Kobo city, and some say clashes are ongoing between Fano fighters and Ethiopian security forces in Kobo city these minutes. So, how did Fano fighters manage to enter Kobo? Are they fleeing the outskirts? They're trying to take refuge in Kobo, or they have repelled Ethiopian military's attack on their hideouts and now they are in a position to enter the city. Whatever the reason is, but presence of Fano fighters in Kobo city is being confirmed, and that is why people are being mobilized to block main roads in Kobo. Some pictures and videos are being shared showing some roads, at least one road is blocked in Kobo city these minutes. And now we are seeing social media calls that Kobo to Kobo Robert, Kobo to Alamata road should be blocked. We don't know if the road will be blocked or not, but calls are being made. Amhara Youth Association issued a statement a few minutes ago. It is claiming that Tigray fighters are going to join Ethiopian National Defense Force from Alamata side. That is why Kobo to Alamata link must be closed. There is no possibility of Tigray fighters joining Ethiopian National Defense Force from Alamata. There is no TDF in Alamata. But obviously, TPLF's name is being used as propaganda to get public support. Some activists say that preparations are being made to hand over Raya to TPLF. That is why this operation has been launched against East Amhara Fano, because East Amhara Fano could resist the handover of Raya, Alamata Quorum to Tigray. I don't think that this operation is linked to the handover of Raya to Tigray fighters. This operation is linked to other operations ongoing against Fano fighters in different parts of the Amhara region. It's not something new. We have been seeing these clashes between Fano and security forces in different parts of the region. Now, one road closed in Kobo, reportedly some small-scale fighting too in Kobo. Fighting spreading towards Gobi, Robert. People being told to take to the streets. This is Fano's strategy. We know that whenever Fano comes under pressure or when it wants to put pressure upon Ethiopian government, it wants to get public support. It involves people. It asks people to come to the streets, to take to the streets. People protest. People start confronting Ethiopian National Defense Force. ENDF retreats. We have seen this pattern in Gondar, in Gojam. But will people of Wollo support East Amhara Fano? Mere Vudajo has support in Kobo. I remember because when his family, relatives' houses were searched in Kobo a few weeks ago after Giramashtila's murder and for several hours, house-to-house searches were carried out, people then protested. And Ethiopian National Defense Force had to retreat from Kobo. It could not trace out Vudajo. Let's see what happened this time. Again, strategy is very clear. Fano fighters are trying to involve locals to protest. We could not confirm any protest in Kobo so far. Secondly, viewers, second news story is about a very important announcement by Ethiopian Orthodox Church. The Holy Synod has been holding a meeting for the last 2 days, emergency meeting, which was being held in Addis Ababa at the church headquarters. The meeting was being held to make some decisions about upcoming meeting in Tigray. On Sunday, we know that Tigray archbishops will meet and they're going to make some announcement about appointment of bishops without consultation, without approval from the main church. That is why the Synod started a meeting yesterday and meeting ended today. So just a few minutes ago, the Holy Synod issued a detailed statement. What is the church's position about Tigray Archbishop's upcoming meeting on Sunday? The Holy Synod says that the meeting scheduled to be held in Tigray on Sunday is a violation of church constitution, violation of Article 37 and 38 of the Constitution, because this meeting about appointments is going to endanger the unity of the church. The Synod used the word misunderstanding, that there was misunderstanding between Tigray fathers and the main church, and that Synod tried to remove this misunderstanding. But Tigray bishops formed Member-e-Salama in violation of church law. So Synod is saying that Member-e-Salama is illegal. Then Holy Synod meeting was held, the statement says, and in that meeting it was decided that an apology should be issued and humanitarian support should be handed over to Tigray. That is why the Synod issued an apology. But the apology, the Tigray side did not respond to the apology positively. The Patriarch then went to Tigray. He gave 20 million birrs to Tigray interim government, but doors of a church were closed on Patriarch and other archbishops. That is why the Synod in this statement is asking two leaders and government officials to stop Sunday's meeting in Tigray. The two leaders are Abiy. His name is mentioned in the statement. The Synod wants Ethiopian PM Abiy, Tigray interim President Getachew, regional government officials and federal government officials to stop Sunday's meeting. How to stop? Through dialogue, by force, it's not clear. But church wants that Sunday's meeting must not be held, and is asking all Orthodox followers and scholars to stand with the church in prayer. So, very important statement. The Orthodox Church has made its position clear that it is not going to accept, it is not going to approve appointment of bishops if Tigray archbishops appointed bishops. Now, will Member-e-Salama press ahead with the Sunday's meeting? That remains to be seen. Pressure on Getachew and Abiy. What will the two do? Will they try to mediate? Abiy mediated between Oromia region-based faction which emerged a few months ago and the main church. Though at the start of that incident, he backed, Oromia government backed that breakaway faction. The breakaway faction could not get following public support in Oromia. Unlike breakaway faction, Tigray archbishops, they have massive following. People of Tigray are going to support Member-e-Salama. People of Tigray are dependent on food aid. They cannot go against Tigray interim government. They cannot go against the elders, the elites of the region. That is why I don't think that there will be protests in support of the main church in Tigray. People are going to support Member-e-Salama. So coming 2 days very crucial. We could see more developments. We could see counter statement from the Tigray archbishops too. Will they cancel the meeting, or will the meeting be held but no decision will be made? As I said earlier, we could see start of a process for the appointment of bishops. They might not complete the process. So let's see. We'll try to stay in touch with these developments and update you as well. Thirdly, viewers, yes, a meeting was held between the Ethiopian PM and Eritrean President. After my last video, some pictures were shared by Eritrean Information Minister Yemane Gebremeskel, who confirmed that last night there was a meeting between Isaias Afwrki and Ethiopian PM Abiy. Before that, Isaias Afwrki held a bilateral meeting with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi too. The meeting between Isaias Afwrki and PM Abiy, was it a bilateral meeting, a formal meeting, or a meeting on the sidelines of the conference? Conference ongoing these minutes. Isaias Afwrki spoke a few minutes ago. I'll do a video on that in after a few hours. You can see the pictures from Isaias Afwrki Abiy Ahmed meeting. Both seem to be in a pleasant mood. I think Yemane Gabriel can be seen there too, Rizwan there as well. But it wasn't a bilateral, it wasn't a one-on-one meeting. It was a meeting on the sidelines of the conference, you can say that. So we cannot say that Abiy and Isaias held one-on-one meeting in Egypt. Though they might have met there, but we have no confirmation. So far, pictures from this meeting only, which shows that they, with their team members, are in talks in a crowded place where other people can be seen as well, other meeting participants. So it was basically a meeting on the sidelines of the conference. And at such meetings, key issues are not discussed. Mostly, these are not very significant meetings. Meeting is significant in terms of engagement, that Isaias and Abiy were not seen together in the last 1.5 years. For the first time in the last 1.5 years, they are seen, and pictures show as if they're in pleasant mood. But I don't think that any sensitive key issues have been discussed at this meeting, because it was an informal sort of meeting on the sidelines of a major summit which is ongoing in Egypt. Let's see, we'll try to update you more if there are other engagements between Isaias Afwrki and Abiy or their teams in Egypt. Thank you for watching.